Hey everyone, this is Kyle once again, and welcome back, and welcome to, well, after postponing last year's, which, for reasons, which, yeah, I hated it when I postponed my yearly anime month, because things happen, and then so forth, I just couldn't do it, though. But anyway, we're back with reviewing anime month. And I gotta go. What great way to start with is reviewing an anime classic. So kicking off of anime month of June, are also birthday month as well. So Want to start with the reviewing what many in the anime community consider one to be one of the best in the anime community and an all time classic of that stature. So here I'm here to review of the classic 1980, the classic anime 1988 film Akira, which which I do enjoy the film, which I know why it's been called one of the best, which I do agree with, and I do have a big poster of the film though, but I just don't have it in here because the way my room is. My room is just too messy right now. Sad to say though. Maybe would show because since my room is small, I have so much stuff that's cluttered around though. So, but I do have a large poster of the movie though. But anyway, um, the Akira released in 1988, and it got a lot of praise, critically acclaimed from critics. It has a high rating on IMDb, has an 8.0, and has a 91% Rotten Tomatoes. So definitely a lot of people, including Roger Ebert. Rest in peace to him. Roger Ebert. He even gave this film a thumbs up. Really enough. See right there. Yeah. So Roger Ebert, he gave this film a thumbs up. And I still enjoy the film. It's not only that. Not like it's R rated. It's definitely that's one thing. Is that this film is also it's about over minus end credits. It's about 2 hours. It's probably about 2 hours long, right? But it goes by very well paced though. So not only it's well paced for a 2 hour movie, considering it's based on the manga. That I'm sure that they didn't fit everything that's in the manga, so they had to they condensed it though with some changes, probably changes that was in the manga, but it didn't incorporate it into the film. So, but one thing the positive I can say, and what I have said has not been, but people have said about this film before, So I probably won't get too much into it because a lot of people have talked about this film a whole bunch of times over the years. But my take, okay. First of all, yeah, it's very well paced. It's R rated, so it's bloody, gory, it's brutal, and I like the creativity in the film. And also the animation is really at this time from 1988 is really well made, and it's just especially when you watch it nowadays in this today in time, the animation from the 80s, it does give that very nostalgic feel to it, definitely. So I definitely feel the nostalgia when I watch the animation from back in the day. So I definitely feel the nostalgia to that. Um, like I said, it definitely lives with the R rating. Like it's brutal, bloody, gory, and action as well. Um, the score by Shoji Yamashiro, it's an epic score. Especially when it kicks in the second half, it becomes such an epic score. That's how I give the praise for it. It's like the score almost gives like a choir to the score in a way, but it's definitely an epic score, no doubt about it. And there has been other like for anime movies, not series but movies. I do like I review yeah I did review long ago. I reviewed Ninja Scroll. I enjoy that film. Ghost in the Shell, the night from the '90s, I wasn't really big on though. Sad to say, I know it's another considered many popular in the anime community, but for the original movie from the '90s, I wasn't actually really particularly big on though. Sad to say though. I know that may offend people. I actually did not mind the 2017 live action film with Scarlett Johansson. I know the whole thing about the whole whitewashing thing, but still, but I actually did not mind that one, that live action adaptation. And plus, you have Takashi, who from MXC, he's in it. Vic Romano, you could say. But but I'm getting off that. But I think it was overall, I wasn't really big on the original '90s Ghost in the Shell movie though. Although I did like Perfect Blue. That was a good psychological thriller. I like Perfect Blue, but yeah, I did like Ninja Scroll. I think Wicked City I did not mind. I think so. There are some of the animated movies from back then I do enjoy though, but other than the original Ghost in the Shell though. But like I said, I know many people in the anime community consider that's also a popular one too. But it just wasn't my cup of tea though, honestly. But getting back to Akira though, like I said, it's just a lot of the stuff I had. There's a lot going for it. Like I said, for the rating, the score, animation, and characters. Now now you have the lead characters. You have Kanedea. Um, Once if I mispronounce the names, like I said, because I always have a problem with saying names. Yeah, I'm almost like can almost say Canada, but it's like Canada. Which there are two English dubs. But the original '89 dub is who voices Kaneda is Cam Clark. Now Cam Clark, he's the one who originally voiced Leonardo of the Ninja Turtles from the '80s. From the '80s cartoon, he voiced Leonardo, which is cool. And then the 2001 which I have this one right here, which is the Pioneer dub version. Kennedy is voiced by Johnny Yon Bosch. Johnny Yon Bosch, who known for playing Adam, the second Black Ranger from Power Rangers. Also know voicing Ichigo from the series Bleach. So he voices Kaneda in this film. This is the one. This is the version I have of that. He's in the English dub of. But I have seen the other one with Cam Clark, and he did a good job as well. Same with Johnny Young Bush. They're both good. Both English versions are good of the voicing of Kaneda. So, but of course, I also listen to the Japanese as well because, like I said, I always repeat myself. I always give credit to the Japanese voice dub since they came out first, though, right? But like I said before, I've always enjoyed the voice dub more though, because hey, English is better here than Japanese though. But I always give credit to. I always listen to the Japanese. I always do my fair share though, so listen to the subtitles as well. But the Japanese voice cast also do their job as well. So, the voice cast, they do a good job as well. And like I said, it's well paced, like I said, and all the other stuff. So, and why it's considered one of the best films ever made on the list. Not just best of the anime films, but some people consider it one of the greatest films ever made. So, but now, like I said about the story, like I said, like I know a lot of people have talked about this film over the years, so probably won't get much into it though, but because people have talked about this film so much though. But in the future, it's 2019. There is this war well, in 1988, Tokyo was basically was destroyed basically, and so in 2019, in the post war, it's overrun by corruption, the corrupt government. There's gang violence, it's a whole it's a brutal new world, right? And so we have Kaneda, in this rally race, right? Against this rival gang called the Clown Gang, and the leader is called, ironically, Joker. And I do like the look of Joker though, and then although I like though Kaneda, I like wish he could do more things like more in fights though. It's probably a nitpick I have with him doing more fights, but after that though, after the race, like after Joker, he just disappears afterwards. He's never seen the film again. Now, like I said, he's probably more in the manga, but since it's a 2 hour film, they had to condense it, so maybe that's the reason. But absolutely, I wish I could see more of him because like, hey, I like the look of him, and then but after that he just disappears, not to be seen again though. Sadly though, and so and then we have Tetsuo, who's Kaneda's best friend, which um, he crashes into this where this kid is, and they both were taken in, and they're both experimented on basically. Um, especially more on Tetsuo, on Tetsuo because, listen, for visuals, like afterwards, like he has like these nightmares. Like I said, the brutality of this in this film what is great. It definitely doesn't hold back on the R rating. Like we have like these nightmares where you see like where his intestines is out, but when he wakes up, oh, it was just a nightmare because he still has nothing's out, right? Or other visuals where there's this giant teddy bear like creature like from the Psychic Kids. I'm like playing mind games with him. I'm like, are you trying to like intentionally, are you trying to intentionally get yourself killed? Because due to all this experience and corruption, what happened with Tetsuo, because he has these powers, and it's like when he's like he can't control it, and especially in some good visuals as well, like so on the violence, and especially what happened with the girl. What was it? Her name was Kay. Towards the end, like she just pops like a balloon because of Tetsuo is like just. Or jumping ahead, like I said, with the satellite in space, where another good visual is like where Tetsuo's in space, right? After he gets his arm blown up by the satellite, and it's completely silent, right? Because hey, this film is so loud and all that stuff, but in the space it's silent, and when it explodes, you don't hear anything. I mean, like I said, you don't hear anything. Like I said, it's just completely. It's like, hey, you muted the movie and you hear nothing, right? so, I do like that. I like that take on it, where it's just everything's just all it's all sound, which I do like that. That's nice. A creative way. At the time, yeah, I would say it was a creative way, yeah. And the whole thing with just with his powers, and with Kaneda, and do what you can to, like I said, just to help his. Well, I do like where there was more where you would fight Tetsuo more, but usually they just excuse me. Um, and all I did with the psychic is like how explain. Like I said in the manga, I'm sure like how Kay got her powers, but if you watch the film, you're wondering how she had it, and the kids. Well, the lead kid that Tetsuo crashed in. Of course, he was also taken as well the same way was him, right? And it's like lead towards like in the end, like because by the time the second half starts, that's when the music becomes more awesome, epic when it kicks off in the second half. But like I said, like Tetsuo's like loses over his powers, and then and then with Tetsuo, he like by the end he basically just creates a another universe. I'm like, that's like the now, of course, seeing this back then, I was kind of like, what? That kind of left me in question. Like, it kind of let me scratch my head from when I saw this from back then. Um, on TV, on it was on TV. It was on the Adult Swim. I think on the Adult Swim. I think it was from years ago. I mean, when I saw the ending of that, I'm like, that kind of left me scratching my head. I'm like, did he just make a whole galaxy or a universe? I'd say the use universe, but I'm like, what? Because like I said, back then, it just let me scratch in my head. But now, watching it nowadays, you do understand the full picture of it. It is iconic because this has been it became popular, of course, over the years, like I said. But there's a whole thing with Kaneda, riding the motorcycle, the iconic where he just like recently in Sonic 3, right? We have Shadow riding the motorcycle. He just pull like on the side of the building, like in the same position where Kaneda does it, right. I mean that's that thing, that position of the motorcycle, him just it's been seen so much. Or even if you see it in Ready Player One, where the girl during the race, she rides the iconic motorcycle, and you see it in Ready Player One. So it is nostalgic, definitely, like I said. But let's say it's like I said, visually it's good looking. Especially, it's nice to see that nostalgic of the '80s style animation from back then. That does give the nostalgic feel to it. Listen, I enjoy the characters. I just wish that like maybe Kaneda would fight a little more, like in the beginning, like with Joker, or more with Tetsuo. But I do enjoy the character. I like the characters, and like I said, visually, like I said, it's brutal, it's gory and bloody, so definitely it earns the R rating. I'm gonna say it is very well paced. It goes by very fast, I would say, for a 2 hour movie. And the music is just epic, like I said. When it comes to the second half, it just kicks off like that. It's a very creative styles like I said, like the whole thing when Tetsuo is up in space and the satellite and everything is silent, because like I said, this everything is like it's a loud movie, but when it happens like that, they say and everything is just silent, no noise at all. So I do like that visual style. Um, and the whole experiment, it'll say like I said, the dealing with the gangs and the corruption of the government and everything else. And but Akira is definitely why it's been considered one of the greatest of all time, among especially not only films of all time, but also one of the best in the anime community. Which I do. Like I said, when I saw this from years back then, growing up, I'm like certain more as I like, especially the ending. I was scratching my head like, what was that about? But watching the ending now, you in this time now, you understand now. But yeah, I really enjoy Akira. It's definitely considered one of the best. Like I said, it earns that respect of one of the greatest, one of the best. And as for the voice cast, they do a good job, both the Japanese and both the versions of the English. Like the second one I have here, this one with Johnny on Bosch, but Sam Clark, Cam was it? No, Cam Clark. Sorry, not Sam. Also, they both do their good job voicing as Kaneda. But yeah, overall, yeah, Akira is definitely thumbs up for this. I definitely enjoy the film, so it's definitely why it's many considered it's a anime masterpiece. You can say an anime masterpiece. Um, it did fairly well, and it did fairly well at the box office from back then, you know. So, but yeah, visually great looking. Like I said, music wise, creative wise. But like I said, I know it's more in the manga though. But for to our film, they condensed it for what much they could. But that's the way it goes though. But yeah, Akira is definitely such an anime classic. I would say that's how I put an anime classic. So that's Akira. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more to come for Anime Month. I hope you're ready for more. And we'll see you later.